All right, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us for the Alabama Bass Nation Tiger Division Tensaw River Delta Tournament that's going to be held this Saturday, May the 6th, 2023. We are looking forward to a great weekend, and this is the fourth and final qualifier for the state championship. So this is the last points that are going to be earned for this year with the Tiger Division. So everybody needs to be on their game day and get ready for a good tournament and do your best so you can get as most points you can. All right, as usual, Chris Tate, we want to thank him for doing our social media, and also this slide here has his contact information for you to send pictures and information to him during tournament week. So if y'all could just send him some things so he can get those posted. We really appreciate y'all sharing those, and Chris enjoys getting those and getting them out, and so everybody can see what's going on. All right, let's get started on our rules and process for this weekend. As usual, the check-in rule. Everybody must check in with our check-in guy on the dock at the end of the tournament day. Failure to do this check-in could get your whole team disqualified. So make sure you do your check-in because we need to make sure everyone is off the water. Also, every team, every angler, every boat captain needs to review this slideshow because it's got information in it that will tell you what you need to be doing. And so you're not clogging up the line and doing things that will slow down the process and getting out of there safely. Official practice started this morning at sunrise, and it will end at 5 o'clock Friday, May the 5th. So all the competitors need to be off the water at 5 o'clock this Friday. Registration will be set up at the trailer at Live Oak Landing at 5 o'clock to begin giving out the flags. And again, that's at 5 o'clock on Friday. They may be set up a little earlier than that. You just have to check to see. But just be patient with them because they will be ready at 5. Also, if one person from the school, such as the coach or representative, can pick up all the flags, that would be great. That kind of speeds everything up and gets that taken care of. Also, if you're not able to check in Friday, you will need to make arrangements to pick up the flags and everything on Saturday morning from 5 to 5:20. This should give you time to get that done because the sun will come up quicker. So we're probably looking at about a 5:30 blast off. So everybody needs to be there early, get in the water, and get ready for the tournament. Make sure these boat flags, when you pick them up, make sure they match your registration card. Just to make sure that registration card is going to have a lot of important information on there that you're going to need to know throughout the day, and that way you're not late or break a rule or something like that. Maximum horsepower, as usual. We've already done these tournaments. Y'all should know this by now, but it's 250 horsepower. We must have 3 people in the boat, 2 anglers and a boat captain. If one of the anglers cannot fish, we need to have an observer in that boat. So please make sure you have an observer. We need to make sure that that's there because if the boat captain has a medical issue, sometimes the young angler may not be able to get that boat captain to medical attention. So we really need to have 3 people in that boat. So everybody, please make that a priority. Also, Live Oak Landing, there's a $5 launch fee. So when you come, you can pay that Friday night. Give it to them at the trailer when you pick up your flags. Just make sure that that's taken care of because you don't want to get a ticket or anything like that for the launch fee. Blast off, as usual, at this location is going to be downriver of the boat ramp. So everybody, when you get put in, go ahead and stage south or downriver of the boat ramp. We need to get everybody down that way and away from the boat ramp because it gets very congested. I know you got to pick up your anglers, but there's several little docks that stick out in the water that you can pick them up at. So just get that done and get away from the ramp as quick as possible. Make sure the boat flag is secured to the boat so everybody can see it That's an important thing, and it needs to be visible all day. Please do not take those down. It is very important those flags remain out. We anticipate blast off being around 5:30. It's just depending on the safe light conditions, but it looks like around 5:30 would be the blast off time. And due to the close proximity of the boat ramp to the dock we will close the boat ramp at 5:30 because the boats that are launching or blasting off will be coming across the boat ramp, and there'll be a collision if you do not see them coming. So we're going to stop everyone that is not in the water at 5:30. So make sure you're in the water. And as usual, life jackets, you have to wear those when the big engine is running. Boat captains, that includes you. So if the motor is running, please have those life jackets on and the kill switch attached. Keep safe distance between all boats at all times. There are a lot of narrow creeks down in this area, so please go at a slow speed when you're going through those creeks, and some of them even have idle speed only. It's been brought up that the gas line cut through is off plane, so you cannot go through there at more than idle speed. So please check it. For those of you that know where that's at. If those that don't know where that's at, please check with some of the locals or your mapping system to know where it is so you don't violate that rule. And that's the gas line cut through. First flight check-in is at 2:00. So that will be the time that we will begin our weigh-in. Flights will be in 10-minute increments. Also, there is no wake at the ramp on the east side of the river closest to the ramp that's marked with the buoys. So make sure there's no wake on the east side. Also, that morning, there possibly more than likely will be other tournaments going out below us and above us. So please make sure you stay to the ramp side of the river because we don't want to get run over by anybody. And please make sure your lights are on during this time so anybody coming through can see you. But make sure you're on the ramp side. Stay off that other side because that's the go through that the boats are going to be going through from other tournaments. Some points of interest, like I said, I've already mentioned a no wake there at the ramp. That's on the east side, the ramp side. Trolling motor only is at 3 Mile Creek after the second bridge. Make a note of that. There is an idle zone 1 mile upriver at Lower Bryant's Landing, all the way across the river. It's about a third of a mile long. So anybody going north or upriver from the ramp at Blastoff, remember at Lower Bryant there is a no wake. It's an idle zone only, and you must go through there, and it's all the way across the river from what we're told. So make sure you abide by that. There's also a no wake at Bluegill Restaurant, and make sure you abide by that. And there's possibly no wakes other places, but they should be marked. But just make sure you're abiding by those rules. There are also no fishing areas that should be marked as well. So make sure you know where those are at, or pay attention to any signs that are entering those areas. As far as the tournament goes, the tournament area, our off limits are at the T docks on both sides of the ramp. That's north of the ramp and south of the ramp, all the way out to the buoy in the middle of the river. Size limit is 12 inches on largemouth and spotted bass. Make sure you are measuring these fish with the mouth closed, tail fanned, and make sure they're 12 inches with the mouth closed. It is 5 fish per boat, and the fishing must stop when the 6th fish enters the boat so you can cull it down. Also, make sure when you're coming in at the end of the day that you check in before you go to the weigh-in. This is going to be a trailered weigh-in. So before anybody gets out at the dock and goes and gets the truck to back down, someone has to check in on the dock with the person that's there with the check-in. You cannot load the boat and then come and bring us your flag or whatever. Some of you that's been doing that lately, don't do that. You must go by the person that's on the dock that has the check-in list so they can check you in. This is why we're calling out teams during the tournament, because somebody didn't check in correctly with our guy at the dock. So make sure you're checking in with those. If you leave early for this tournament, you must call Scott, Jason, or Daryl. Jeffrey, myself will not be there this weekend. So your points of contact are going to be Scott and Jason and Daryl. So make sure you have their names, and they're on this slide at the bottom. This is a trailered weigh-in, so make sure you understand that. There's a lot of congestion at the ramp, so this is a trailered weigh-in. So make sure you understand that. Also, the Remind app, make sure everybody is signed up for it. Daryl does a good job of keeping that updated if there's issues going on throughout the day, or either passing on information. So make sure you're signed up to do that. But again, remember to enter these numbers at the end of this slide here. Chris, if you want to back up one slide for me. The bottom of the slide, remember Scott Ashley, remember his number, write it down. Jason Cherry, he's very familiar with this area. We do a lot of tournaments in that area, and he's very familiar with a lot of things. So if you have questions about the area specifically, Jason would probably be the one that you would want to call. And if he doesn't have the answer, he will find it. But Scott and Jason are your main 2 points of contact, and also Daryl. All right, blast off procedures. It's just like any other time. Main thing is line up correctly, and that's going to be below the boat ramp on the south side. That's downriver, so make sure everybody gets down there. We're going to proceed in the staging area slowly, and just like we do all the time, wait for your numbers to be called, and we'll get you through. Typical way of doing it, make sure your boat flag is attached, make sure your lights are up and running. Even though it may be daylight, your lights must be up and running. Live wells should be open and running as well. Do not close them until you get to the last person on the dock. That way everybody has everything checked, and then you can close it up. Life jackets. Everybody in the boat must have their life jackets on and fastened. That is during the launch, blast off in the morning, but that is also when the big motor is cranked during the day. But boat captains, that is you as well. So make sure your life jackets are on and fastened at all times when the big motor is cranked and running. Also, the kill switch must be attached to the captain. Boat captain, anytime that motor is cranked up, make sure your kill switch is attached. And when you come through check-in, just lift it up so we can see that it is attached to you. You do not have to pull it and kill the engine. We just want to see that you have it on. If anything is lacking, we're going to pull you off, and we're going to check you again once everybody has cleared. We cannot get you back in line because of the way this is set up. You'll just have to circle back around and get at the end of the line. So make sure that we get everything checked, and you get an all clear from the last person on the dock to leave. Just remember to proceed out past the middle of the river before you get on pad, because the east side, the closest to the ramp, is idle only. Boat captains in the high school division, you know this by now. The only thing that you can really do is help cull and manage fish care. We're getting later into the year, so this is important. So please help your anglers keep those fish in good health, and do what you can to take care of them. You can also verbally teach and instruct, but things you cannot do: you cannot run the trolling motor, you cannot fish, you cannot handle any rods and reels, nor can you handle any tackle, and also, most importantly, you cannot fish. So make sure it does not look like or appear that you are fishing at any point in time. This becomes an issue, and it's hard to some of it make you understand. Don't pick up the rods and reels during the tournament, so there's no issues. All right, back at the end of the day when you're coming to check in, again, it is a trailered weigh-in, so you can trailer your boat, but make sure the first thing you do is check in with our person on the dock on time. There is penalty for being late. It's one pound per minute. So make sure you check in, you trailer your boat, send an angler to get a weigh-in bag. You must use one of our bags. And I think pretty much everybody knows our procedures from now. Go ahead and get in the fish tank when you get back, and proceed through the line as everybody's instructing you on what to do. Just make sure when you get up on stage, if you want to weigh a big fish, you tell the weighmaster or the MC that you want to do a big fish. Don't wait till you get off stage or you pass that bag off to the picture tank. Once that bag leaves the stage, we cannot weigh a big fish. You have your option to weigh that big fish while it's on stage and in the hands of the weighmaster. Do not let that bag get gone past the weighmaster before you tell him. Make sure he knows to weigh a big fish. Also, this is going to be your stage time to talk to the MC. Thank everybody, your family, your friends, your teams. This is your stage time. Do what you need to do there. Parents, feel free to take pictures with your anglers that are weighing. As we're getting further into the year, it may be come to a point to where we have to stop the pictures at the back of the tank due to the stress on the fish. So we will make that decision once we see how the fish are taking it or handling it. But if we see that we have to stop that, we will. So make sure you get pictures when your anglers are on the water in the boats or either when they come across stage. All right, next slide is an overall view of Live Oak Landing there in Bay Minette. As you come in, you will go to the right. It's kind of a circle around. There's plenty of space at the ramps. I think there's actually 6 lanes. So it should not take you long to get put in. Just make sure when you start, you get in, turn right there at the boat ramp, that you start getting your boat in order. Do not wait till you get up there to the boat ramp and start getting your boat lined up or the buckles and all off and detached from the trailer. You need to make sure that you've got that well beforehand. Chris, go ahead and advance to the next slide. This is an overall view as well of how it's to be done. You can see the red arrows. Those are that's where you need to be doing your staging, getting your boat ready to get in the water. And you can see up there at the top of the screen, there is an offshoot to the right to do some of that, but you can do it beforehand. Just don't block traffic. As you get closer to the dock, to the boat ramp, you need to have everything ready and be ready to be in the water. We don't want you getting up there and you running around putting your rods in the boat and all this. By the time you go past that little offshoot up there, you need to be ready to go straight into the water. And once you get in the parking lot, proceed to the parking lot, and your anglers or whoever's in the boat can idle to the or troll to the dock and wait on the anglers to get in the boat. But once they get there, get off the dock. That is not a staging area for you to sit at until the blast off. You must get off that dock and proceed to your staging area. Next slide, blast off. As you can see here on the right-hand side is where you're going to be staging downriver of the main dock. And as we call your number, as usual, you come by and we're going to do boat check at that time. And as you see, when you get out of that half river section there from the ramp, you can get back on pad and proceed on. But make sure you're halfway across the river before you do that because there is no wake right there at the boat ramp. Next slide is the check-in at the end of the day. Please just circle around to the check-in guy that's going to be located at the south end of that dock. That's going to be on the downriver side of the boat ramp. That's where they're going to be. So please make sure you check in with him. We don't need to be trying to find everybody, whether they are in the parking lot or haven't checked in, sitting on the dock somewhere. You need to immediately go to him and check in at the dock. Okay, everybody, just remember, if you leave early, you must call Scott or Jason or Daryl to let them know you have checked out of the tournament. Leave your boat flag in the bump sink there at the trailer so we can get it when we get back. But please make sure they've done that. We don't want to be trying to locate you at the end of the day during the tournament time. So make sure that we know that you're off the water. And again, everybody, I appreciate y'all's support this year. Everybody's done a great job. And remember, this is the 4th and final qualifier for the state championship. And once we get this done, we will start finalizing our AOY stats in order to let you know as quick as possible of when or who is qualified for the state championship. You're going to have to give the ladies a few days to get that done. So bear with them to do that. But as soon as we get that done, we will pass it out. And again, your point of contacts this weekend is going to be Scott and Jason and Daryl. So make sure you know that. And again, I wish everybody good luck and safe travels going to the tournament site this week. And again, if you need us, please email us at the ABNHS Tiger email address. That way we can try to get you answered and get you taken care of. And again, everybody, good luck this weekend, and we'll see you at the tournament.